how long I was speaking to myself. It looks like it was quite a while. It's one of the things that, I'm a channeled tarot reader, so I'm not looking up very often. I should program myself to just look up at the chat every once in a while, but then it breaks my channel. Like yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's there's sometimes you just have to concede to the fact that there's a different method than the way you think is going to work, because this is not working as much as I wanted to. It's just not within my style to be interrupted constantly. Although that's really my life, frankly, is working out while being interrupted, which is okay. But there are times where it would sure be nice to not have to do that. But that's okay. I guess it's in the meantime, this is what it is. But I don't know where I was. I don't know where I stopped, and it's going to be hard for me to get back to where I was from a channeled state. Which is unfortunate, because the goal was to, again, the whole purpose of this is to demonstrate this properly so you can see it work. And I haven't really felt once that I've had the front to back complete, that has not occurred yet. And it is really frustrating to not be able to just finish a sentence without being interrupted, So I'm not sure what to do, and I'm thinking that again, I may just use the tool here to do readings and not teach it here, because it's just not happening for me. And so I'm not comfortable continuing to teach it if it's just going to be like every which way possible. I'm being stopped from doing that, whether it's just the stream dropping, the hiccuping to the point that I can't actually illustrate anything because I'm literally 5 to 7 seconds behind myself. I can't open a folder to search for an image. Like, it's just not happening. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to stop streaming, and I'm not going to stop speaking about the subjects that I think matter and that I feel can maybe have an impact on people, but I don't really know how to teach this other than the way that I have done it for 25 years, which is a visual speaking with demonstration of practical use of it, and then success, like seeing results. That's all I am. So it's hard for me to kind of retrain myself to stop in the middle of a reading to look at a chat to make sure that I haven't dropped, or to check in on if there, it's a hard experience for me. So, and I'm going through it. I will relearn how to read tarot for the digital age, because that's the world we live in. I'm lucky if I hear the voice of the people that I read for nowadays, let alone, be able to, have a smooth stream of consciousness that isn't interrupted by literally everything possible at every moment, right? Like, is my stream still up? When I point at something and then I point at something else, the thing that I'm pointing at originally hasn't happened yet. So, and I'm already pointed at the third thing, waiting for the first thing to get pointed at on the screen. It's, and so it's a matter of me, going through the mental exercise of trying to figure out how to teach something that I in a different manner, but being able to be satisfied that you actually got the facts out. Because the way that I teach is by eliciting a knowing, but that's not going to happen when you're literally interrupted 3 times. It's just it's a moot. It won't happen. The facts are laid out in a specific manner, in a specific speech pattern, in a specific symbol system to lead you to that end. And if you get knocked off of that path twice, it's gone. The original build-up is no longer part of the process, and so when the punchline hits, you don't remember it's like there's no effect. Yeah, I am totally um uh I enjoy the opportunity to recognize that there's a necessity for a new way to go about it, which is outside of my comfort zone, because I'm going to come out at the other end with a new skill set. And the only real problem here is looking up and realizing I've been speaking for 10 minutes to nobody. I don't have to look up. It's not about the skipping. It's about knowing that there's a person on the other end hearing what I'm saying, and that I didn't spend 10 minutes speaking to nobody, and that information is gone because it's channeled. There's literally no way for me to get that back. And so I'm not sure how to go about that, because I can see recording the reading, not looking up at all. Like I can hit a button to turn off the monitor. And so I'm not looking at the desk, the cards, anything, the chat, right? And it just be a matter of, yeah, okay, no, it's OBS. So basically, there's a piece of software that I use in order to be able to show you my screen with multiple cameras and whatever else the case. And the software works usually. There was an update to Windows 11 that broke it to the point that it's becoming unusable, and it's slowing my computer down to such a degree that while it's running, I can't do anything else either. When OBS is not running, my computer works fine. Works fine. I do 3D rendering, I do graphic design, I do my work with 17 tabs open on my web browser. Like any other computer, it's a terabyte hard drive with, 32 gigs of RAM, which is plenty for what I do. I'm not actually cutting too much video on here. It's not really a laptop for that. It's basic stuff. But the gist is it works okay. The problem is OBS is on my machine did not do well with the Windows 11 update. I thought about that. There must be another solution, right? And do I have time to look at it? Learn it, figure it out, make this happen? No, but I will have to. I did it with this. I didn't know OBS existed until a very short period of time before putting this stream up, right? A couple days. Like, oh, what's this? Let me learn how to use it. Right? And so, it could happen, I guess. I just have to figure out what it is. Right? Let's find out what's holding you back from speaking. Right, yeah, there was that blockage that was in between the transition of speaking and manifestation that was that had shown up as a couple of the act of the alchemical process. Although you start as this and end as gold, is very volatile. And some very dangerous things can happen during that period in between, that transition. When you go from the thing that you think you are into the thing you've always been, of that perfected form. In the middle, it's scary. Your physical form changes, your emotional state changes, your understanding of who you are changes, your vocabulary changes. So the things you used to completely hold on to and anchor to are no longer safe. The things you thought you loved are irrelevant. The things that you never even considered now matter more than anything else. And it's a really weird time. It's kind of confusing. It's almost like puberty all over again, only now you're an adult and shit really hurts because you've been through stuff. And so it's like, okay, well, you know what? I trust. I'm going to survive. I'm going to come out the other end okay. And just recognize that. The things that you actually are infallible and infinite and cannot be destroyed. So they will survive the alchemical process. These things that are going to be stripped away, fall away, no longer matter. It's okay to let them go. And it's okay to be afraid now to let them go. Being afraid, it means that it's normal and that you're feeling the reality of what's happening. You're anticipating the loss. And so fear occurs because of the anticipation. You're not fearing the loss, you're fearing the anticipation of it. Recognize that the loss is a willful act. You chose it. That's why we're here talking about it to begin with. Let it go. Let go of the fear that stops you from moving forward. Let go of the fear that stops you from pulling the trigger on that thing you know you want to do. And most specifically, this is talking about serious manifestation possibility in this moment right here. Don't miss it. It's not forever. This is always in a state of moving. Suddenly it's not there anymore. And the moment's gone. You've got to go for it when it's there. You don't have to keep justifying that you're worth it. You don't have to keep reminding everybody that you're not the Seven of Cups. People don't look at you the way that you think that they look at you. People see you. They don't see what you see. They see the real you. So it's okay. Enough. You don't have to keep telling everybody, no, really, I mean it. No, we know. Stop. You're so much bigger than me. And you're so much bigger than the people around you. Just start believing that. You know, it comes down to this reality. The reality is that, you know, the people around us are going to have their opinions regardless of who it is that we're pretending to be. So we might as well just be ourselves, because really, no matter who it is that you think you're being viewed as, you're going to be viewed as whatever they're going to view. You have no control of that. So you might as well just be authentic with yourself. And so that they can react to that. And if they're not meant to be in your space, then they're going to go ahead and do you a favor and exit your space. Or at least show you that there's somebody that should be exited. And the reverse is also true. Suddenly you're casting light instead of reflecting it. And when you cast light instead of reflecting it, you resonate with the others. And they're drawn to you. That's what's happening right here. And we're going through the process right now, and it's scary, and it's okay, don't worry. You don't have to jump. Just walk to the edge and peek. You don't have to jump. I'll push you. It's okay. You don't have to be the one to make the decision about when. Just get to the edge. Trust me. I did jump. And I've jumped 7, 8, 9 times with others since then. And here I am. So, that process is special. Right? This is what we have to look forward to. Right now, it's a chariot that's still. And that if this chariot had the opportunity to move, he'd pull mountains. Right, but anyway, that said, special. And the art card is it, the alchemical marriage. Do not be afraid of the things that are going to come from that process. It may seem scary in the meantime, but when you actually find the courage to give into it, die daily, be open to the transformation will happen. That's how that works. Right? So we'll just be open to that. Allow for it. Allow for it. Yeah, so let me catch up on the chat here. Yeah, we get those tower moments all over the place. Lately especially, and they're all technology related, which is unfortunate because I live in a 3 by 4 foot space on my desk, crying out to the world, and this is literally the only thing I have to do that. And so it's, this is important. From the respect of me being able to feel like I'm being heard, which is the only thing that human beings need in the world, right? We cry out. And all we care about is that we hear something back, even if it's ourselves echoing. So, That's right. Yes, you get it. Yeah, that's a biggie. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that was clear as far as like an initial look at the pentacle and how it could be utilized here, because it's, the one thing that it could be utilized for, firstly, is to just have it up as a reference, right? You could easily just have it up and use it as a reference of the deacon. It's like the wheel, like having a physical deacon wheel, right? But then also you have the pentagram that you can use as well as an actual surface, right? Which is handy also. What I'll wind up doing, I'll get them. I don't know why I didn't have it prepared. I thought I did, but again, it took so long to just try to navigate folders that I just cut bait, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find those images of the templated version of this that I put out. All the beads related to the signs, so you can see which bead is related to what sign, which bead is related to what planet, which beads are related to what elements of the system, and so you can kind of see it as a template. And I'll put that up on the community tab. Right, and so that we can, get an idea of, as a key, which one of those beads is Mercury, which one of those beads is, Sagittarius, which one of those beads is water, and so it's a way to kind of look at the language and using this as a template for doing that, and the same thing with the elements. Right? I have to darken that up a bit. Yeah, there's a wand in there. You see the wand? The pentacle, and there's a cup. I mean, this was pretty down and dirty. I used my my wand pencil, and just got really down and dirty to get it done fast. That's why the Hebrew is kind of sloppy. I mean, I don't have the best Hebrew anyway, but the Hebrew is kind of sloppy. That's the Yehovah and a couple of special names, but that's basically Jehovah and Elohim. Jehovah and Elohim. Jehovah is the elements of the divine body, the unfolding, and Elohim is the intelligence. Right? Elohim saw that Israel would accept the law. It's kind of the idea of the Hermes, right? It's the idea of the intelligence instilled into man. What is the law? There is a couple. We've heard of the 10 Commandments, and that's certainly the law, but there was something that came before that. And Moses saw the people profaning and chose not to share it with them. So the 10 Commandments that we know of, that we call the law, are correct from one sense. That's the law of the lower world. But there's also the law that he received of the higher world, which is the Kabbalah. And Kabbalah is the 10 emanations of the truth. Not the things we shall not do, but the things we have and can do. And they are the Sephirot. They are the paths. So, by understanding that language, then we can recognize the different tools that we have to transmute and to alter these elements at our will. And by looking at where we currently stand, what needs to be moved and when to make that happen. And it's tools like this that can help us, to at a glance do the math, or to look at the different correspondences of what's in the fires as compared to what's in the airs and these types of things, what's in the waters, and so forth. And seeing that interplay is powerful. So I have a feeling that all your streams you have done up until now is just to warm up. The universe is preparing you for the real. Yeah, right? It's funny you say that too, Shushu. You know what I've considered doing too? Going back through my old streams and pulling out little gems and making a compilation of gems. Like little basic 1 sentence, 2 sentence. There's a few spots where I felt like I was like really in the pocket on a subject and just got it right. Pulling that out and putting it as a separate video. But then ultimately, once I have a couple of dollars to put it together properly. This isn't prepared to do what I need, but it's certainly enough to do what I've been able to do thus far. But to be able to do real good graphics, I would obviously need to have Photoshop back. GIMP is so clunky, I still don't know how to use it. To do proper video production, to use my understanding and skills in Blender to create reenactments, to create simulations and things, related to certain forces and concepts. It's just the rendering is impossible, right? And these types of things on this laptop. But when I bought it, in my defense, I never expected to be doing this when I bought this computer. So it was never my goal, and so I can't be upset at it, right? For not fulfilling what it is that I now want it to do. It's like, hey, dude, this is who I was when you met me. Do not expect me to be rendering 60 frame per second video. Truth. But I'm not asking. I'm asking for 30 frames a second at 720, bro. Can I have 720 30 frames? That's too much? I shall read to you from Kabbalion. Where is Kabbalion? Oh, it's here. The universe is mental. Ain't that the truth? Psh, are you kidding? Come on. I'm sorry. I told you I was giddy. You have to be, because if not, really. Could you imagine my life if I didn't learn to laugh? The universe is mental. But students and hermeticists of lesser degrees than masters, the initiates and teachers, are able to freely work among the mental plane in mental transmutation. In fact, all that we call the psychic phenomena, mental influence, mental science, new thought phenomena, etc., operates along the same general lines, for there is but one principle involved, no matter by what name the phenomena be called. And let me actually explain what that's talking about here. It's the idea of, like, if you ask me a question, say for instance, hey Michael, I wanted to buy one of those oracles, right? And you said that it was like, I don't know, it was $1, and I have $5. So here's my $5 bill. How much change should you give me back? I'm going to utilize my psychic ability to communicate with the world of archetype, where the numbers live. The concept of ones and twos, duals and tries, and quaternaries. And I'm going to now utilize that system of manipulating those archetypal symbols to come to a transmutation. I began with a 1. And through the act of the union, we now have a 5. But the 1 is the thing that is being applied as the rule to the magic to transmute that 5 into something new, and that new is the change. And 4 is born. It's beautiful. That's exactly what we're talking about. Now, what did I do? I took a 5 and I gave back $4. But in reality, that's not what happened, right? And we can look at it from both perspectives because they're both correct. They're both right. And we have to recognize the fact that that's the case with all phenomena that enters our experience. Okay. The microcosm is the macrocosm. The part contains the whole. As above, so below. It's really something there. It's a special one. No worldview may encompass the whole world. Two models may conflict and still be true in their proper context. They don't have to agree with each other in order to be true. It's important to remember that. In fact, that's the most important thing to remember. Truth. Mentally nuts. We're all here because we're all a little not here. Everything is linked, directly or indirectly, with everything else. So, yeah. It comes down to recognizing why. Why? To experience. To know. To know. I love that. Inside of the mustard seed is a whole tree. It's the garden of pomegranates. Love that. The question is who's the big nut? Who's the kahuna that started the whole thing? That's the one we need to worry about. Because all we are just like the, the baby nuts of the one main nut. We may be onto something. Very different sound than the original. Let's see if we can do the original one. I like that better. Alrighty. Yep. Pardon my bipolar. Some days I'm just totally okay with it and I'm comfortable and I'm fine, and some days it totally just throws me off and I can't stand it. And so that today was one of those days where I was not doing okay coping with the skipping. I apologize for being impatient about it, but actually I don't apologize. The reality is that, again, I have something that I want to communicate. I've spent plenty of time not doing so. It's been I am in a state right now where it's time for work to be done. I'm very urgent about that work getting done, and so I make no mistake about being frustrated when things come into my space to prevent my will from being had. I want it now, and I recognize that I have to be open to the unfolding. The timing isn't in my control. The what is. The when isn't. So I give up. I give in to the when, and I won't stop. I'll just keep hitting that button every night. I'll keep looking into the message boards and see if there's a setting I missed. I'll keep plugging away at readings until a sufficient amount of money is manifested to create a new computer that will completely be devoid of these issues. Built with 11 in mind. That's not going to have an issue with new drivers. That this is an i7. Right, it's an older generation processor using new technology, and that never works. Patience. Patience is a virtue, and we should strive toward virtuousness, because that's really what we're here to do. And how do we strive towards virtuousness? Subdue passion. Recognize expectation as the thing that it is, which is really just an emergence of the personality, which is a lie. So expectation is poison. It's a lie. It's just something to facilitate the ego in reminding us of its agenda. That's it. And what's the point of that? Well, there's no benefit from that. Alrighty. Thank you for everybody who joins me every time this thing goes down. It really is. Well, it means everything. It means everything. So I really appreciate it. That said, thank you for everyone who joined tonight. If you have any questions about anything that I discuss here, please feel free to reach out. I answer my emails. I answer my voicemails. I speak longer than I should. I'm long-winded because why not? And I'm available for private. To give me a call at that number or a email, direct message, WhatsApp. I'm all over the place. You'll find me. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And I will be back tomorrow, hopefully in a rested, better place. That's not going to happen. Who am I kidding? And in a position to hopefully weather this a little better. For your sake. Forget about me. I couldn't care less. But I just want it to be smooth for you guys so that the information comes down in a manner that it's not stopped 4 times. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great night, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow.